Hey everybody, my name is Chandler Brown, and I'm a sophomore here at Harvard University. I just wanted to give you guys some tips on, getting into college and, what kind of approaches you should do to meet that goal. First thing, and probably the biggest thing I would say, is figure out where your motivation comes from. A lot of times when people want to, go to college or something, it comes from an outside source. Well, that could be your mom, your dad, your cousin, your auntie, any other family, some friends, whoever it is. Those are all outside sources, and that's fine. They place the initial idea in your mind, and that's perfectly okay. Now, the difference, though, to reach that goal is that the motivation has to change from being an outside source to being an inside source. What does that mean? That means that the motivation now has to come from you. It has to be you that wants to do all the things that it takes to achieve that goal. Because at the end of the day, it will be you. It will be you inside those rooms, writing those essays. It will be you sitting down, taking those tests. It will be you that goes to do the work. So really, it's got to be your decision, not their decision. Because really, if it's your decision and it's something that you really want to do, then you will be more motivated to take the extra steps to reach that goal. So biggest thing, just figure out where your motivation comes from, and try to make sure that the motivation is really yours, and that this is something that you really want to do. Second thing that I would suggest is, figure out how to manage your time. One of the big things that happens as you go through school is, you start to take on a lot of different responsibilities, and that can be schoolwork, that can be, practice, maybe you're on a team, maybe you're in different clubs or everything. All these things take time, and all the things that take time do need to get done. And that can be a little bit challenging, and so that's when time management comes into play. And so I guess what a suggestion would be, is really just find a way to hash out different schedules. Now, that can be in different ways. Maybe you use a planner. Maybe you just say, I'm going to set out 3 hours for this assignment. I know that practice is going to take 2 hours. I have to spend 4 hours on a club this day. Whatever it may be, just hash out a schedule, write down whatever needs to get done, and try your best to stick to that schedule. Granted, not everything always goes according to plan. Things will change. Things inevitably change. But for the most part, just try to stick to the schedule. Be a little bit flexible if you need to be, but just go for it. And really, if you just balance your time, that will definitely help you reach those small individual goals, which eventually will accumulate to reaching a larger goal. Next thing I would say is find something that you're passionate about. Getting into college, there's a lot of the stigmas about work, but to kind of balance out that work, you have to have something that you enjoy doing. And that's easy because you'll be able to identify it because you enjoy it. So figure out what you enjoy doing and just stick with it. That can be, another sport, perhaps. Say you like basketball or soccer, If that's your passion, then stick with it. If you like an instrument, say you play, the piano or the guitar or something, stick with it. Find something that you just really, really love and stick with it. I promise it'll make your life a lot better, and a lot, just more enjoyable when you have something that you really like to do. It just makes life better. Next, what I would say is that in terms of work, if you're, maybe like struggling with something, please, please, please do not be afraid to ask for help. I cannot stress that enough. Sure, there's going to be some stuff that you get right off the bat. Maybe you're like really good at math or something, and it just comes easily for you. It's snap. But then if you look on the other side, maybe, English isn't your best subject or writing or whatever. If it's tough for you, ask for help. Don't be prideful, because everybody needs help. You can't go through struggling and not ask for help and still try to be successful. I mean, it takes more than just one person to really achieve all these goals. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Go get it whenever you need it. It's not a bad thing. It's really a good thing. And people are always there just to try to help you achieve whatever goals you're trying to set out to achieve. So please do not be afraid to ask for help. One of the last things that I would suggest in terms of getting your application and your resume ready is maybe start doing some community service. One thing that colleges do like to see is community service, and that can be in many different forms. That can be maybe cleaning up the neighborhood, or going to a nursery home and just helping out over there. Maybe going to a hospital and volunteering. Whatever it is, just try to get some community service work in. Just knock down a few hours overtime, and that'll look really good for whatever you want it to look.